I thought it was a step in the right direction. My hat's off to those guys on the other sideline. They fought hard. We kind of got on them early with a special teams play, which was good to see. I guess they had a couple quarterbacks get hurt, so wish them the best. But I got a lot of respect for them and hope that doesn't hold them back from having a good season. In general, it was a step in the right direction. We're certainly nowhere near close to what we need to be and can be yet, but there was a lot of good things tonight.
Coach, a lot of good individual performances, but Jaden Nixon in particular, starting off with the kick return and then those 2 long touchdown runs. Just talk about what he was able to give you tonight.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Jaden. It's just in a game like that, you never know who's going to get the big plays, and they fell on Jaden tonight. He did a really good job. One thing I wanted him to improve from last week is he had a tough run last week where we gave him the ball and there was nothing there and there was a guy in the backfield, but it should have been about a 2-yard loss and turned into about an 8-yard loss. And we've been talking to him. As fast as he is, he just needs to run through the smoke and make sure that he's not always trying to stop and juke. And he did a really good job of that tonight on offense and on special teams. So really excited for him to have the type of game he had tonight.
Scott, you went with Tayven at quarterback tonight. What was kind of the thought process behind that, and how good was it to get all the quarterbacks maybe an opportunity to get out there and get some snaps?
Yeah, I'm excited about Tayven. We missed on a couple things that I think we would hit most of the time, but I thought he played well. Had a really good week of preparation, and I saw a lot of growth from him. So really excited about where Tayven is going. But I think you guys can see why we had a tough decision in camp. Cam started the thing out because of his consistency, and he was out because of injury today. And Tayven obviously came in and played awesome last week and helped us pull one out. Did some good things tonight, and then you can see what Jackson can do too. So it's good to have depth, and I'm excited to have those guys.
What kind of controversies does that create for you heading into the next game against UNC and then eventually conference play, having, for like you mentioned, Fancher start, then Tayven, and then Jackson impressing in the second half of this game?
I don't know if it's controversy, at least not in our house. It isn't. In our locker room, in our building, it isn't. Because those 3 kids are all a class act and they root for each other and have been pulling for each other even when they've been competing. And you look around the country and there's teams without 1 quarterback, definitely a lot without 2. I feel good about 3 guys. So, that's a luxury for us. And we'll let them keep competing, but right now I'm really happy with the direction that we're going.
Is it another tough decision in the next few weeks?
No, I'm not going to create that. We got a bye week to think about it, see who's healthy and who's available, and we'll talk as a staff, but I don't think it's going to be tough.
What week-to-week improvements did you like most about your defense?
In a game like this, you're worried about coming out and playing at our level instead of, kind of our play not being as good because of an opponent that's, I got a ton of respect for them. They're just down a couple levels of football, and, we have more resources and just had some more horses than they did. But you want to make sure the team is playing up to our standard and not matching the level of competition. And I thought the defense did a great job of that and setting the tone early. Second straight week with us having a delay because of weather, and the guys handled that great, and they came out of the gates firing, so that was good to see.
Coach, you talked a little bit about depth, not only from the quarterback position, but how does it feel to kind of just see some of those younger wide receivers get an opportunity, rotating the DBs, rotating the defensive line? What would that do for you a little bit later down the line that they get these game reps on a game like this?
Yeah, it can help. I'm excited about a lot of those young receivers, but all of our receivers are fairly inexperienced, so it's good to get Burke and DJ and Speedy reps. It's also good to get CD reps. And, I'm really excited about Waden going forward and CJ and Burdell and Bridgewater. And there was a few plays tonight that we just missed. And a couple times it was just a throw a little off. And other times if we ran the route a little better. Those are the kind of details that we need to keep dialing in on, because that's the difference in making the play work against a good team or not. And I think there's a learning curve for all of us on our team with the limited experience that we have to try to fast track that experience and growth.
Jaden's kick return touchdown was the first since Mike Hughes back in 2017. So how much do you think it's important to have that be a weapon in kind of your arsenal? And, what did you like about the kick return unit throughout the course of camp?
Pete Alomar does a great job with special teams. He's done a great job with special teams for a long time. It's great to have room on our staff for a full-time special teams guy. I did that job in L.A. I helped Chase do the job in L.A., and it's a full-time job just to do special teams if you want to do it right. So hats off to Pete. When that play hit, it looked eerily similar. I actually thought about it instantly when he kind of came up the hash and broke left, and I think he ran about the same track as Mike did back in the day. So it was a little bit of deja vu for me, but it was a good way to start the game.
Coach, obviously, still in that part of the season where you're working to improve, get prepared as you approach, conference play in the next few weeks. But as far as penalties, where do you feel like the team is at with that, and how do you concentrate on that going into the bye week?
Yeah, we got to clean it up. Kind of the same thing again. I thought we were better discipline-wise tonight, but we're not close to there yet. Guys kind of making their own decisions, just some mistakes. The one drive they had, we gave them 30 yards in penalties. And the first one, I want our guys to go attack tackles, not catch them and then slam guys down. And, that's just something we got to learn. And we got another 15-yard penalty. Those kill you in tight games. And we had a few on offense like that, too. Got another Miles touchdown called back. I didn't see what happened on that one, so I got to look at the tape. But discipline matters, and we talk about every decision on our team being based on what's best for the team, not what's best for me. And I think we still have a little bit of, I know I'm supposed to do this on my assignment, but I'm going to go make this play instead of doing exactly what they have to. That's something we'll talk about a lot over the bye week.
In the second half, Jakari kept the ball on the ground a lot. Was that by design, or were you hoping he threw the ball a little bit more?
Yeah, those games are tough because we're trying to be good, sportsmen with the game in a situation like that. But we also have a lot of guys that went all the way through camp and just wanted to play football. A bunch of those plays with Jakari running were plays where he had an option to keep, or maybe even throw an RPO. I actually thought the long touchdown he gave it, and I was watching Bridgewater run, and all of a sudden Jakari came shooting out. So he made the right read on that, and they kind of overplayed the fly sweep. And he's an athlete, and he's a weapon. So glad he's on our team.
To that point, with Jakari showcasing his athleticism, how encouraging is it for you to know that you have a deep stable of horses at that position that can all utilize different skill sets?
Yeah, like I said before, we're in an era where you got to bid on players, and sometimes you get the right ones and sometimes you don't. I think our staff and recruiting department did a good job picking a lot of the right guys. We got to keep developing those guys and coming together as a team, but we got 3 quarterbacks that I feel really good about, and I've been on teams where you're struggling to find one or definitely 2. So when you have somebody get hurt a little like Cam did, it's good to have other guys.
Scott, how excited were you to get some turnovers on the defensive side, some interception and a couple of fumbles, and especially the fumble for the touchdown?
Yeah, every game's different. The last game we had a really good amount of yards and didn't score many points, and then you look up tonight and we have a bunch of points and not very many offensive yards because we scored on defense and special teams. But those are the biggest scores in football as far as dictating the outcome of the game. When you score on either one of those, you got a really high percentage chance of winning. If you do it twice, you don't lose very often. So again, that was a product, I think, of the guys having the right mindset coming out and starting fast.
Although there was another weather delay just like last week, did it feel like a more normal game atmosphere in here? What did you think of the bounce house tonight?
Yeah, they've really improved the game day stuff. I didn't know all that was going to happen. I think Terry spent a lot of money on fireworks tonight. I'm a big fireworks fan. My brother's here tonight. He's in the back, the Jeopardy guy, and his birthday's on July 4th, so that's a big holiday for our family. So I always had a soft spot in my heart for fireworks, and that was cool. If we actually kick off a game at the right time. I hope the thing's jam-packed and rocking, but I really appreciate the fans that were there, and a lot of them stayed for the whole thing.
2-0 start, different kinds of wins. How does this line up with what you thought this team would look like after 2 games?
I didn't know in camp. I didn't know how the team would react when it was live bullets. I think we played better than we did last week, which is good to see. Now we got 2 weeks to get ready for the next one. We really got to utilize this 2 weeks. It can't just be time off and get away from football. We're going to rest the guys and make sure they're right, but we need to come back and attack and take another step. The games are going to get tougher and the opponents are better.
Do you like a week 3 bye at this early stage?
Well, this is one of the odd years where you have 2 byes during the year. So I think ours actually worked out really well. 3 bye week 5 or something like that, bye week, and then we finish. So, or 2 bye week 5, bye week 5. So gives us a couple breaks during the season, but I can't control where those fall. And I think with our young team, it gives us a little extra practice before the next one.
You mentioned learning from adversity in week 1 close matchup. What do you learn about your team in a blowout win like this?
I was impressed with a couple things. Like I said, I was impressed with the way we came out, and we talked about having a nameless, faceless opponent, and coaches talk about that a lot. But I want our kids to have blinders on and not worry about what's happening around the country or anything else, and just be locked in and focused on the task in front of them. They did a good job of that tonight. And I was really excited by the play of some of the younger guys. Those guys, were hungry to get a chance, and they got to play a lot of the second and third quarter. And I'm anxious to watch the tape and see how they did.
What are the major points of emphasis you have entering the bye week over the next couple of weeks to get ready for North Carolina?
Discipline and detail is probably what I'm going to hammer home to these guys. Like I said before, it's got to be team first all the time. Be in the right spot with your eyes right alignment, fewer penalties. That's all discipline. And then just the detail of some of the things that we're trying to run schematically in all 3 phases needs to continue to improve. And if you're intentional in practice, that's when it gets better.
Coach, talking about those younger guys, I know it's easy to fall in love with what Jaden did tonight. Obviously, we know what Miles can do, but what about a young guy like Stacey Gage getting his first collegiate touchdown and running that ball pretty tough this last quarter?
Yeah, Stacey wasn't with us in the summer, and we got him back in the fall. He did a good job of being in shape and handling his business and coming back. He had a really good spring, had a good fall camp. Feel good about our depth there too. It was really sad to see Swint get hurt a little bit, and we'd have another one. But see why I'm excited about our depth at that position with Miles and Stacey and obviously Jaden. And then Ajman came in and did some good things there at the end too. So it's good to have depth in all the spots.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, Steph.
Yeah.
Nyjalik Kelly in there.
Got Tayven Jackson.
All right. All right, Tayven, a little bit different preparation this week. You knew you were going in as the starting quarterback, I guess, for most of the week. How was that different in terms of prep going into it, and how did it feel on the field to have some success early?
Yeah, it's the same preparation as if you're the backup. Always stay ready. So I approached it the same way as I did week 1. And I thought today's game there was some good and there's some bad. We could be better at some things, and as this team we talk about, we want to be great. So we're going to go in the film room and fix what we did wrong, and also enjoy the win, because it's hard to win football games.
Tayven, how is it to start a game to have Jaden run one back for a touchdown? I mean, what does that do for you guys to kind of get things sparked going into this game to have that happen?
Yeah, it's a momentum changer. So, when you see that, it's like, whew, man, that takes a lot of – because, starting the game, with the ball first, it's nerve-wracking, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what they're going to come out and run on defense. And so when you got that, it's kind of – you take a deep breath and relax a little bit. It was a great run by Jaden Nixon.
You guys
Calm,
took
juicy.
guys took some deep shots tonight. What worked on some of them? What didn't work? Obviously, the one to Dwayne Thomas, he laid it out on the field for that one. What did you see from those?
Yeah, I call them sliders. DJ, Burke, and all of our receivers, man, they're sliders. So the defense that they presented us on film and out there today, we could take deep shots today, and we did, and we connected on some, and we didn't. But then again, the ones that we didn't connect on, I'm not too worried about that because we're going to connect on those.
You like airing it out like that?
Oh, yeah. I think every quarterback does.
How did Cam and the rest of the quarterbacks support you leading up to this start?
Yeah, our friendship doesn't change whoever the quarterback is, and we support each other, whoever's going out there, and that's just the type of quarterback room we have. And kudos to Coach Milton. He keeps it real in there, and we love each other.
Tayven, what does it do for you as a quarterback? I'm right here, right in front of you, bro. How you doing? What does it do for you as a quarterback knowing you have a stable of backs like that who can, at one touch, 80 yards, 60 yards? What does it do for you? You got some pretty good wheels yourself.
Yeah, it makes the game easy when you got guys that you can hand the ball off to and they can break one for 80 and spin move off 3 guys and score. It just makes the game easier. As a quarterback, you have confidence. I have confidence in every player on the field. But when you got running backs and that can do the things that our running backs can, it's awesome. It's amazing.
What kind of a lift is it for you individually and as a group to be able to hit that second throw? You had the one that went to Burke, that was a near miss, and then right after it on the same drive to hit Dwayne Thomas for the long completion. What does it do for you guys to be able to get that instant response like that?
Yeah, I just think we have playmakers, and when we miss shots, it's screw it, the next play. And we do a great job of that. The receivers do a great job of that. Our offense does a great job of, if we have a negative play, forget about it, wipe it, flush it, because the next play is the only thing that matters. And I think we did an amazing job today as an offense of just thinking about the next play. And so kudos to the receivers and the offense by just going out there and going next play mentality.
Tayven, firstly, my boss, Tom Brew, says hello. He said he knew you from your days at Indiana, so he wanted to extend that. Also, what do you feel like you've learned about yourself early on at this point in the season, and how important is this bye week for you?
Yeah, it's just, again, last week, what I said is getting your feet wet, get more comfortable out there. I felt like I was more comfortable out there operating and just taking shots and working, playing this offense. You just got to get comfortable, and when it clicks, it clicks, and it can go far. But the bye week is a good week for us as a team to watch our film, learn from our mistakes, and attack North Carolina. And we're going to do a good job of going into week 1, the next week, the mentality that we're going to play Saturday.
Tayven, the offensive line's pass protection gave you a lot of time to sit in the pocket. How does that change the play calling structure when you know you're going to have a lot of time in the pocket?
Yeah, I think any defense we go up against, I don't have any worries about pressure at all, and it's a reaction, and we have a really good O-line, and today they did an amazing job of protecting, and I felt like I had all the time in the world today, and I trust those guys, and hopefully they trust me.
You were able to spread the ball around a little bit. Just how comfortable are you getting with the receivers now that you've had more time to work with them as the first team QB and now in game settings?
Yeah, just developing relationships with my receivers off the field is a big key, and then it's going to carry over to the field. And they're playmakers, they're sliders. I got the easiest job. My job is to just get the ball in their hands, and they're going to go make plays, and because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So my job is every week try to get them the ball and just let them go shine.
Yeah, another question. Has your family been able to be at these games? I know it means a lot for you to be the starter. I know it kind of happened in a weird way last week, but to start tonight and stuff, did you have family in the stands supporting you tonight?
My mom and dad were here this week, and my sister and my nephews were here last week. So they do a good job of supporting me, and I can't thank them enough. Just having your family at games and looking up in the stands it means the world to me. And so I'm forever grateful for them, all the time that they take.
What does your father mean to you? I know he played, right? He played college football?
Yeah, my dad, he played at Washington State. He was a safety, and then he played in the league for a couple of years. He says he played in the NFL, not for long, but he was a great athlete. And, you know, I ask, he gives me great advice every week.
Tayven, you guys got a bye week now going in before you face North Carolina. Is that a good thing for you guys? I mean, coming off a big win like tonight, I mean, a lot of points, a lot of production. Or, I mean, do you like it, or would you rather have the time off to maybe prepare to get ready for a game like North Carolina?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Everyone gets their bodies right. We feel fresh rolling in 2 weeks, and it gives us time to watch the film on North Carolina. They're well coached. Same defense coordinator I played against last year at Washington, so they're really well coached, and we got a game plan right, and we got to attack the week.
How would you evaluate your performance, I would say, through a game and a half?
I thought I could do a lot better. Just some missed throws and just cleaning up my eyes. But, you know, again, I love it because I can go into the film room tomorrow and get better each week. And that's what you have to do.
What does it mean to get an all-round team win where every aspect of the game is flowing like that?
And that's what we wanted coming into this week, because we wanted to clean up the things we didn't do well last week, and I feel like we did. Being physical, our run game was amazing this week. So I feel like we came into this game with the right mentality, and we'll come into every game with the right mentality moving forward.
Tayven, as the quarterback that has some experience and having like some younger guys at wide receiver, how do you kind of slow the game down for them to allow them to play fast, or as you say, just to become those sliders for you?
Yeah, it's, again, like, experience in this game it goes a long way. And just having young guys at receivers that are freak athletes, man, I just try to do my best to talk to them. You know, if I made a bad read or if I threw a bad ball, I'll go up to them and be like, hey, man, that's on me. If they ran the wrong route, I'll be like, hey, man, like, this is the route that we want to get to. This is how we want to place the ball. And it's just about communication. And today we did a good job of communicating, and we'll do a good job communicating moving forward.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you Monday.
Nyjalik, just overall thoughts on the overall defensive performance against North Carolina A&T tonight.
I feel we played great, but it's we still got space to improve. We had a good game, but this wasn't our best, so we still have to get on the field on Monday and improve from what we did today.
Nyjalik, what was it for you guys to be able to get an early interception, a couple fumble recoveries, to get the sack in the end zone, and to get the touchdown? How did that kind of spark the defense, I guess, tonight for you guys?
All week we talked about getting turnovers. All week we talked about starting fast early. So it was a blessing and great that we was able to get interceptions early and get 2 sacks early.
You mentioned there is room to improve, but what was the team's biggest strength today on defense?
I feel like everybody was the strength. If we didn't get back there in time, we got an interception on the floor. If they covered long enough, we end up getting a sack for a fumble in the end zone, end up getting a lot of 3 and out. So I feel like collectively, the whole defense was the strength tonight.
What did you like better about what the defense did tonight than last week? You said it hasn't been a complete performance yet.
I mean, it shouldn't be a complete performance. We're only in week 2, so if this was our best, I mean, we're in a rude awakening for the season. So last week, we played good, but just not our best. So every week we would like to improve. We didn't have as many turnovers last week. This week we had more turnovers. So I'll say we improved on the turnover side.
Talk about you have a rude awakening coming up. Obviously, the schedule doesn't get any easier from here. How important is this incoming bye week for you guys?
I ain't say a rude awakening like that. I'm saying if, but this bye week is gonna be real important. Get everybody who is sore, get them to feel 100%. It give everybody to mentally prepare for our opponent. So this is a great bye week. This is a good bye week to have after 2 games, seeing where everybody at, seeing who can play, who can do this, what's this person's strength, what this person's weaknesses is. And these 2 weeks is everybody just got to dial in and be together like we already been.
Even though you're on the sideline, are you guys talking about a shutout as a unit as the night goes on in a game like this?
I mean, of course, every night a defense want to shut out. It don't matter who we play, the Eagles or a Pop Warner team, we want to shut out. No defense like to get scored on. No defense like 3 points. No defense like when the offense give up a safety. So, of course, on the sideline, we're talking about getting that donut. But we came short, but we still had a great game.
You mentioned getting the turnovers and the sacks that kind of set the tone. How much of an emphasis was it this week to get those kinds of explosive plays, those kind of game-changing plays to kind of get right after last week?
It wasn't more emphasized this week than last week. Every week is emphasized. Grinch emphasizes turnovers, sacks, TFLs, being in the right gap, playing your man at the right depth. So every week the emphasis is the same. It's just whether the 11 that's on the field is going to execute the emphasis.
Go ahead. This week, today you had double-digit tackles for loss. Do you feel that's a result of the adjustments from last week or just a comparative competition?
I just feel like everybody that was out there who was able to played their heart out, and that showed on the field and on the stat sheet. I mean, it don't matter who the opponent is. Tackles for loss, double-digit tackle for loss is hard no matter who you play. It's college football. Everybody is no better than anybody. Anybody can lose at any point. So it really don't matter the competition. Double-digit TFLs is hard no matter who you play.
All 3 phases had touchdowns, obviously in the first quarter. Special teams, offense, strip sack, Rodney jumps on it. Just talk about that play and getting a defensive touchdown.
That play wouldn't have happened without anybody on the 11. Great coverage on the back end, giving me time to get back there. Great rush by Rodney, great rush by Malachi, and to have him stay in that spot. Good rush by Rodney, being able to be there to pick up the fumble. If Rodney wasn't there to pick up a fumble, it would have been 2 points instead of 7. So I'm just glad everybody on my team played their position and played their role in the defensive call for me to be able to get that sack and strip fumble.
How great was it to get more guys get snaps in tonight's game? Get a chance to maybe get some younger guys out there and get some chance to get some snaps. That's great. Getting younger guys out there to show the fans and the media how our future looks. Show the coaches how the young guys play out there on their first game. It was some of them guys' first time ever touching the field in college, and I know how that was for me. So it's great being there, cheering them on, happy for the young guys to make tackles. So it was great seeing the young guys out there.
These past 2 games, Horace Lockett has made some game-changing plays. What have you seen from him and how he's grown?
Horace grown as a player tremendously. I mean, I knew it since he been in the spring, him getting knocked back, me and him out there, I'm getting a sack, he right there beside me. So y'all didn't know that because it was like an in-house thing. It was a practice thing. So I'm glad he can showcase this to the media and to the fans that he's that dude.
Jaden with a big night. How are you able to enjoy watching his big runs?
I mean, we all talked about it. We get that kickoff, we might only get one or two, take it to the house. He had it in his eyes. I knew he was going to take it to the house out the gate. Then him scoring a long touchdown, we knew what he had. Y'all seen the film of him last year, so we already knew he got speed, he's explosive. So him being able to showcase that this week, not being able to do that last week and coming this week and being able to do that, that's great. I'm proud of Jaden.
Thanks, everyone. We'll have Jaden in next.
Go Knights. Yeah, hold on, let's get another one. Go Knights. Yeah. How y'all doing? Y'all doing good?
Doing great, Jaden. So you had the kick return. I know we talked to you in the preseason. You said you had one in you.
Yes, sir.
Pretty soon this season. So talk about your mindset. Talk about that play. And when did you know you were getting 6?
As soon as they said kick return. Honestly, it's just something that we've been like very prideful about this week and everything. We really wanted to some last week, and so this week we just came determined and everything like that. And I can't take credit all for myself. I mean, I'm watching guys just wash everybody over and just the middle opened up, and I couldn't get tackled by the kicker. So it's a great feeling, man. It's a blessing. And I remember TJ came over to me. He's like, "We're gonna go get one." I was like, "We sure are." And hey, man, it happened. Especially to start the game like that. It's amazing and everything like that, and it gives the team momentum. So,
Jaden, you think about that performance. You start off with the kick return, then you have 2 big long touchdown runs. Have you had a game like this before in your career, where maybe you kind of were able to kind of do it in different ways, different functions, and have that kind of?
Not exactly like this. I've only had one other kick return before, but. I mean, just a kick return and then 2 big runs. I've had a couple games where I had 2 big runs and then maybe a short run or something like that. But I mean, I can't take credit all for myself. I mean, our O-line did a great job opening up the holes. Coach did a great job making the calls like that. And like I said, on that kick return, everybody did a great job doing their job, and that's something we took pride on this week. I mean, we really want to grow and expand what we can do, and I mean, we got it done. So.
Jaden, obviously the kick return, then 156 yards on the ground, your longest run 87, average 40 yards per carry. How are you feeling? Is it almost every run, big play? How does that take a toll on you, and how are you feeling after?
I feel great right now. My Tylenol is kind of wearing off, so I wouldn't say I can go do it again. But no, I'm feeling great, and just not even just watching me or going out there and doing what I know I can do and everything like that, but just watching my other teammates and the other guys get a chance to go play or have success and everything like that. Like, that's what's really amazing and special to me. Like, it's cool to have your own success and everything like that, but I mean, when guys getting in a game and making plays and everything like that, like that's something that's exciting to me, and I'm excited to see what else we can do this year and what the other guys can do as well.
Are you surprised by the stat line yourself?
I am. I really am. It's crazy, but it's a blessing and everything like that, and it shows the work that not only I put in this week, but the whole team put in this week as well. So.
Big night tonight. How did your week 1 performance, though, maybe motivate you to show some more tonight?
Shout out EQ. I remember Brad came up to me. He was like, "Hey man, -10." I was like, "Ha." Like, it was just that's something that, like, I wasn't too proud or prideful to be, especially first game as a Knight and everything like that. So, I mean, I remember EQ telling me that, and it was motivation from there. Even after the game, I'm driving home, like, man, like, I got to wait a whole another week to show what I can do and everything like that. But I just showed up on Monday, went to work, showed up Tuesday, went to work. The whole week showed up, went to work, and I can't even just take all the credit for myself. My teammates were pushing me all week and everything like that. And even after the game, they're telling me, "You're good. You're gonna be straight. Everything's gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. God has a plan for you and everything like that." So shout out my teammates, shout out EQ and everything like that for keeping me up.
Jaden, Coach Frost mentioned this week he was just telling you to run through the smoke. You know, what does that mean for you when he just tells you run through the smoke? He said he felt like you did a very good job of that. What does that mean to you as the back?
It just, I mean, you never know how everything's going to look. And sometimes if you just happen to slide off one little, like, I mean, you may not get touched, but if you just slide off the backside of somebody and just hit it, you never know what could happen and everything like that. And I really took that to heart. I remember him and Coach Coop telling me that. And it's one thing to hear that as a back, like, man, you're not hitting it hard enough. And it's like, dang, like, you know, so what I got to do now? So, like I said, all week I was going at it hard, just taking cuts and making hits that I haven't been really making as much as I used to, and everything like that. But I mean, like I said, Coach Frost pushed me all week. Coach Coop pushed me. My teammates pushed me, and I feel like that's what really motivated me to go out here and play the game that I did.
Jaden, you had when you turned the corner on those outside runs, it was just pure explosion at that point. What is the difference in the mentality you have going into, you know, up to the line, knowing you have an outside run coming versus an inside run?
It's really just looking at it how it's all gonna play out. It's like I know it's supposed to hit here, but how are they lined up? You know, how are they? And it also comes to watching film beforehand. It's hard to when you're only one game in and everything like that. But watching those guys, it was like sometimes they would overflow, or sometimes they would crash, or fill in and everything like that. So it was just watching film and studying and taking notes on those guys and what they did. And then at the same time, Coach Bill always says pre-snap, post-snap, perform. So take a look pre-snap. How are they looking? I'm looking around. I'm like, okay. Post-snap. It's like, okay, where are they going next? And then it's just from there, it's just perform. So, I mean, like I said, O-line did a great job just, giving me opportunity to perform and do what I can do. So it's, I mean, you never know how it's going to hit. Sometimes those outside runs go inside, you know what I mean? And sometimes those inside runs go outside, which happened today. But it was just a blessing to be able to, be put in that position.
As a team, when you return the opening kickoff for a touchdown, what does that do to the momentum on the sideline? Obviously, things began to kind of snowball in your favor after that. But how much does that set the tone for the kind of game that you guys are going to have when you return the opening kickoff for a touchdown?
I believe it lets everybody know that we're here. You know what I mean? We're here to play and everything like that. Like, yeah, we won last week. I mean, it was a close game, but I mean, it showed that this week it was going to be different. But honestly, I didn't even feel like it was a momentum shift or like, gave us momentum at first until Miles came over and told me, he was like, hey man, like you started all this. Like I think we were like up 28 by that point or something like that. But that's when it kind of hit me. It didn't really hit me then either, but like I mean, like I said, TJ came over to me and we were like, we're going to get this. And even before, guys are telling me all week, like, we're going to go get one. Let's go to the house and everything like that. I even remember last night talking to Coach Pete and everything like that. He was like, we're going to go get it. So, I mean, it's just a determination and everything that everybody else has. And then just putting it all together. I mean, it's a team play. So, I mean, I know after that, everybody was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a great game. So I'm just excited. I got put in the position to be able to do that for the team.
Yeah, you had one prior kickoff return for a touchdown. UCF hadn't had a touchdown on a kickoff return since 2017. Does it feel the same to you as a long run, or does a special teams kickoff return touchdown hit a little different?
I would say it hits a little different because you don't really get those opportunities as much. And I'm not gonna lie, that's a long run. Like even if you run 90 yards on a run, like it's still a long run and everything like that. But I don't know, it's just different. And then when everybody's talking about it all week, and I even had guys coming up to me like, man, I dreamed this was gonna happen and everything like that. Like where I visioned it and everything. It's just like, man, like it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy to me and everything like that. But I'd say like I don't even know. Like you said, I had one before, but I've been wanting to go get another one ever since that. And now I want to go get another one after that. And I know the guys on the team feel the exact same way. So we're going to keep putting in the work even after this week. Once tomorrow's over, once Sunday's over, I mean, clean slate, that kick return doesn't matter as much anymore and everything like that. And it's back to work. So that's what I'm really excited to do, get back to work with the guys and go get another one, two more, three more. You know what I mean? Just keep stacking up on them. So.
Going back to the return real quick, you talked about the guys in front of you setting blocks, clearing the path. We obviously got to see your speed and skill, but what does it say about Coach Alomar and how he's built up you guys as a special teams unit and your growth in that area?
He's really pushed us, you know what I mean? He takes pride in his job. He takes pride in special teams and everything like that. And I mean, I think it's let me just say this. Every time we start special teams, he has us jump up out our seats, cheer, get loud, get excited, and everything like that. And I just think that really translates to the game in all special team phases and everything like that. And it's just like the little things that he has us do. I mean, he takes pride in his job, and I mean, he pushes us to take pride in it as well. And as you see, those guys came out there and took pride in going to get a kick return and everything like that. So I mean, shout out Coach Pete, man. You know, pushing us every day, getting us going every morning, even mornings when we're not tired, or when we're retired, we're not really there and everything like that. And great job setting up the game plan and really studying them and everything like that. So, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night.